How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Canada First stream. You guys can tell by the title down below, the more serious talk that we're going to be having today, okay? It's a little bit more of a serious talk that we're going to be having today about how the arrests have begun. Jeremy Mackenzie was arrested simply for protesting. He was arrested, being held until Friday, where he'll have his hearing. But this is like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, got a video here, CTV News video about this arrest as well. What are you going to do when inevitably the Canadian government comes down, arrest you for protesting? Arrest you for peacefully protesting, for holding up a sign, for standing for conservative values, for being a right-winger, for being white, for being Christian, right? Everybody should have a plan at this point. Everybody should have a plan. Frankly, if you have a family, you should get out. You should leave the country. You should dipset Canada, because more arrests are going to be following this, you know? Diagolon is simply the tip of the iceberg here. Jeremy is at the very spearhead of this. We're just gonna have a nice talk tonight about all these things, about the arrests, about what you guys should be doing. And I see some people saying, you know, leaving just puts off the inevitable. It's not as simple as simply saying, well, you know, the globalists are going to get everybody eventually, so, like, there's no point. There is a point. If you have a family, if you have children to protect, don't let the government take your kids, dude. The fight is about the nation. It's not about this gay-ass fucking country, okay? Being a dissident right-winger, you know, I'm not here fighting for the fucking Maple Leaf flag, dude. I'm not, okay? None of the country can go fuck itself, honestly. Like, the government, you know, 70% of the fucking people, Canada the country, I am not here fighting for. I'm fighting for the nation. I've talked about this before. Many people in chat will understand this. You have to differentiate between the nation and in this country that we're living in. We share a nation, largely, with Americans and with Europeans. There's a much bigger battle at play here. Quite frankly, if there's any hope at destroying the globalist establishment within the next couple of decades, you know, this could very well be an intergenerational fight, obviously. If there's any hope at, you know, taking back our countries in the next couple decades, that's going to stem from what the Americans do. And, you know, some, like, LARPers are gonna be like, oh, that's, we gotta cut out the Americanism. It's just true. It's like, that's just a fact. Donald Trump was the catalyst for the beginning of the war against the globalists. And in 24, he could get reelected and he could set things on the right course again. Think about what the Donald Trump election did for nationalists all over the world. That is the power that America has. Up here, what? Pierre Poilievre's gonna save you? You think that Pierre Poilievre's gonna save you?
It is great to have Pierre Poilievre here in Edmonton to celebrate Sukkot.
Thank you very much for having me, Tim. Wonderful hospitality here in Edmonton. Shalom. Happy Chag Pesach Sameach. Happy Passover. Passover is an occasion to remember when God passed over the Jewish households to protect them from destruction and allow Moses to lead the Jewish people.
The Liberals and the NDP have a lock. They have a lock on the government until 2025. Are you going to be able to survive the next 3 years with a family living in Canada? The answer to that, you might be able to if you live in like a rural town and you haven't ever went out to a protest. You haven't, you know, done anything dissident. You're a dissident, a right-wing dissident with a family. You gotta leave. You gotta get out. The fight is about the nation here. It's not about this gay country that we live in. And that's what it is. Country is trash, dude. Okay? Canada sucks. This isn't me like trying to like blackpill you or anything. It's just the truth. And that's something that I'm always going to be saying, right? I could have came up here and, you know, I can go on the show on Canada First and I can be like, well, you know, Pierre Poilievre, that's the best case to take out Justin Trudeau and save Canada. And I can LARP and I could grift. But, like, I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to sit here and do that. Turbo Chad says, it's obvious the moment you cross the border, Canada is fucked. See, Canada isn't, like, totally fucked. Right now it is. Like right now it definitely is. But, you know, when it comes to Canada, when it comes to the UK, when it comes to France, any other country, Australia, you know, any other country where they're going through these same things, the same globalist overrule, it doesn't mean that these countries are forever fucked. However, it will take that catalyst. It will take that opportunity. It will take that uprising, that revolution stemming from America. What, do we actually think that, you know, Canadians are gonna rise up? Do we actually think that, you know, the vast majority of Canadians are going to, like, take to the streets? I mean, we did it with the trucker convoy for 3 weeks and then the government put it down. Things aren't as simple as, you know, what random commenters online will say. Things are a lot more complex than what the average Rebel News commenter or the Viva Fry commenter will tell you. It isn't as simple as just being like, well, if we can get like 1 million people to go to Parliament. We did that. We had 2 million people at Parliament. We had 2 million people in front of Parliament Hill. Ultimately, what did that accomplish? You know, it was very white-pilling to be there, but very quickly, and I talked about this during one of my streams down there. It was either when I was down there or when I just came back. But the anger for the globalists, the hatred for these people that are invading our country, that are stealing our way of life, these evil satanic people that are ruining our country, that was neutered in like less than a week. For the next 2 weeks of the trucker convoy, it was, you know, it was a bunch of hippies out there smoking pot. You know, it was still nice to see a lot of the truckers were nationalists. A lot of those truckers that actually went out there were nationalists. They're fully like on our side. Even at the trucker convoy, the numbers were just not there. Talked about the numbers of serious actors, that, you know, the people that are willing to say the things that need to be said, the people that are willing to take that next step. Because that's what the Americans did in 2016. They took that next major step. And that had a ripple effect all across the world. All over. And you saw, you know, parties, whether it was in Poland, in France, in the UK, in Spain. You saw many of these nationalist parties start to gain support. We are heading towards a polarizing world. We are polarized right now. It's going to be increasingly polarized, you know, as the years go on here. Being a hippie is not going to cut it. You can't be a hippie. You can't sit there and, you know, talk about liberalism and, you know, unlimited freedom. That's not going to work. Something about balkanization. I'm assuming you would be specifically talking about the West separating, if you're talking about Canadian balkanization. I don't think that the West will ever separate. I don't think that Quebec will ever separate. Again, like, it's an easy thing to say. It's an easy thing to say, and Canadians are great at this. Canadians are great. They are fantastic at, you know, giving these very easy, you know, simple answers to these complex questions about how do we save our country. Canadians love to say, oh, well, we just gotta separate. we just gotta make our own country. It's not as easy as that. Balkanization will only happen. For one, you gotta stop immigration. Simple as. The more immigrants that go out west, the more the West becomes incohesive, that lowers your chances literally every day. Every day, more and more immigrants are pouring over our border. You know, that's lowering the chance of balkanization. That's lowering the chance of the West separating. It's just not there. The votes are not there. The leaders are not there. The West is not going to separate anytime soon. I don't really see that as a solution. That could be something that happens down the line. That could be something, but, you know, that's not going to save Canada. That's, for one, creating something new. I'm not opposed to, but it's just like, gonna separate, then things are gonna be awesome again. It's like, it's not that simple, dude. It's not that simple. There is a political solution to this. There is a way that we can save our countries and our nation politically. Absolutely. But this is not, you know, within Canadian politics. This isn't just within, you know, like a country's politics. This is like international politics now. It's nationalists versus globalists. Nationalists fighting for their respective countries. Globalists trying to sabotage people's individual countries, right? Napoleon says, Tyler, all we have to do is sue the government, bro. Maybe another petition. Yeah. Exactly. Maybe we just have to deliver a 6-page Word document to the government again, and then then we'll take our country back.